So I was in the mood for a classic slasher I hadn't seen in a while, and I asked my friend Ted if I could borrow his copy of The House on Sorority Row. He said yes, and then he dropped off a copy of Haunted House on Sorority Row. What's the difference, you ask? Well, The House on Sorority Row is a movie. Haunted House on Sorority Row is not. Pictured here are Henrik Kuto and John Oak Dalton, the director and writer of the mess we're about to discuss. They are a nam-making super duo, mighty in the arts of lazy incompetence, delusions of grandeur, and desperation to get young women naked. Now, with that in mind, so you know that scene in every movie where people are making out while driving and it never makes sense because it's clearly too dangerous to be realistic, and you know these aren't the type of characters to last an entire movie, so you instantly don't care about them? Oh, but this time it's truly unique. While we hear the car's engine roaring, we see the road coming about 30 miles an hour. Exhilarating.
Damn. Rob Zombie would rub one out if he saw this place.
Yeah, Rob Zombie's famous for being super into nothing special.
So I guess it's in your bucket list then.
Bang a chick in a haunted house? Yeah.
So I'm guessing that means they came to this building strictly to have sex in it because it's allegedly haunted. And I guess it's also abandoned since the front door was just open?
Well, it's creepy as hell, so let's get this over with.
Right. Making out while driving is perfectly fine, but now that there are no strangers to potentially murder with reckless behavior, it's time to kill the mood and rush right through things. Or completely switch your character's mentality and do a slow-ass striptease. What the fuck ever, I guess.
Devin, I think somebody's watching us.
I'm not usually into that, but it is my bucket list.
I'm not into threesomes, but I'd like to have a threesome. Sammy, aren't you watching porn again? No, Rakaku. Porn is fun. And even though they're looking right at her, when Dipshit gets up to approach her, he starts by looking at her feet for an unnecessary vertical reveal.
Shit!
Hey, cool, you showed her face, and then looked away, and I guess forgot that you showed her face, because then you showed her face again and pretended it was a surprise. Caramba!
This is one of the most spacious homes we have available in your price range. It's centrally located, it's in a great school district. Are you looking to start a family?
What? No. Actually, I'm thinking about starting a sorority chapter. That's why we need so much space, but we're also on a budget.
How fun.
I'll take it.
Great! I just need to make a phone call and we'll get the wheels in motion right away.
This is one of the more spacious houses, meaning there are others she hasn't seen yet. Centrally located? To what? Why would a 20-something buy a house that big to start a family? And she's only thinking of starting a sorority, but is committing to buying a gigantic fixer-upper, which she does after seeing one fucking room. That's a lot of stupid all at once. And now, a solid minute of meaningless time wasting.
You win this round. Literature.
Ted, I am so mad at you right now.
She's a motivated buyer and we want to make her happy. Got it? Okay, good. Goodbye.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
You didn't.
You can move in this week, in fact.
Oh my god, is that gonna be enough time for them to move all this stuff out?
Actually, everything that's in the house comes with it. The last owners left the place without taking anything with them. They just really wanted to get out. Some people say that this place is...
It's haunted. I know, I googled it before I came here.
You did?
Relax, any weird feelings that we have here are just our minds playing tricks on us.
I'm super excited about hauntings because I don't believe in them.
Trust me, there are way scarier things to worry about in real life.
Not only was that line completely unnecessary, she made it sound like a fucking threat. Anyway, let's get back to our lead. Who went to sleep. For some reason. No. When people get naked in a porno, there's a reason.
Yeah? What are you doing over there? Too busy twirling one out to move?
Twirling one out is not a phrase. Also, she made no indication that she had changed her mind about moving. Will there be a scene where the dialogue makes any fucking sense? We're only 10 minutes into this thing, so I surely fucking hope so!
It makes me hot when you say twirling one out.
You'd get hot if I read you the Starbucks menu.
Hey, I'm just the way God made me. A gift to women. Maybe we could pull over somewhere.
You wish.
Still them talking? What the fuck was that truck shot for? Cut away from these morons!
Hey, what's up, my sister? Sorority sister, that is.
Oh, son of a fuck.
You're getting way too into this.
And why shouldn't I? Not a lot of sororities would accept girls who are into D&D and Doctor Who.
Yes, they would. Why, it's almost like you've never actually applied to join a sorority.
You know, I would say no sorority would have me, but I wouldn't have any of them either. But I had to take notice when Alex started one in a haunted house.
1. Do you want to join a sorority or not? 2. Acting.
Get this inside, guys.
Well, those gunshots really do make me feel a lot more comfortable. I feel like the hillbillies are serenading us.
Good job. Nailed it in, one take.
Hey, this was a bordello until around the turn of the 20th century. One night, all the working girls died during a night of record cold, frozen to death. Some showed signs of starvation. Why they didn't seek help was left a mystery.
Spooky.
Yeah, then after that, it was split up into apartments. but they had trouble renting them because of all the suicides and cases of domestic abuse reported. It was empty for a while, and then in the 90s, a couple with a big family bought it and decided to fix it up.
Why is it that I don't think that you're going to say, and then they lived happily ever after?
Sweet fuck. All right, let's unpack that.
One night, all the working girls died during a night of record cold,
Nobody talks like that.
frozen to death. Some showed signs of starvation. Why they didn't seek help was left a mystery.
If it's record cold, it was likely too cold to go get help. And if they were already past hungry into starving, they probably didn't have the energy.
Why they didn't seek help was left a mystery.
Spooky.
Yeah, then after that, it was split up into apartments.
Smooth.
But they had trouble renting them because of all the suicides and cases of domestic abuse reported.
What? That man was walking away. They couldn't rent the place because of suicides and domestic abuse. So, everyone who thought about moving in had to run home first to beat up their roommate and kill themselves?
It was empty for a while, and then in the 90s, a couple with a big family bought it and decided to fix it up.
Why is it that I don't think that you're going to say, and then they lived happily ever after?
Because the house is still crap? Also, because they moved the fuck out and are living happily ever after somewhere fucking else. Now for a quick study in character creation.
How many homeless dudes did you have to blow to get them to move out of here?
Jim, as eloquent and charming as you are, I will never understand why you still work at that fried chicken place.
Haha, laugh it up. I'd be embarrassed to put a meth lab in this place.
Upstairs, with this stuff.
Glad I don't have to live here.
Did you used to date her or something?
Date her? Does it look like my dick fell off from frostbite or something?
Just saying there's a lot of animosity there. Just wondering.
Yeah, she just thinks she's so much better than everyone else. Makes me sick. Get the door.
Cool! The woman hater and Princess Bland don't have a strained personal bond. They legitimately despise each other. Which means there is logically no reason for him to fucking be there. Here's a little tip when working on a screenplay. Try to find an actual explanation for your characters to be in the same fucking room!
What is that doing here? What is that doing here?
It means some dude paid and got laid.
No, shut up! Get that out of here! Get that the fuck out!
Yeah, right, I might wear it.
No, stop! Get that the fuck out of here, now!
Alright, man, whatever.
What? Just so we're clear, a century's worth of unexplained mystery death in this very location.
Spooky.
A necktie.
No, stop! Get that the fuck out of here, now!
Finally! A character that makes perfect sense. Anyway, Nerd Girl just hooked up the internet, so how is she using her tablet earlier? Don't ask stupid questions.
Maybe the others haven't heard about it, but I know there's a Wikipedia article on this place.
Well, of course there is. If Nerd Girl wasn't looking at the wiki page, what the hell was she reading from?
Okay, you know all that stuff didn't just happen in the past? That couple was killed here 5 years ago. Okay, you know all that stuff didn't just happen in the past? That couple was killed here 5 years ago.
So, do you want to tell her how time works?
This place looks like there's a million cockroaches hiding in the walls.
Come on, guys, you know why we're doing this. We can have a nice, clean sorority house, and every Saturday night, our fraternity brothers would expect us to be on our knees. Forget that.
So, you bought a disgusting abandoned building on purpose so that boys wouldn't ask you to suck their dicks. Would you say something that makes sense, you fuck?
First meal in the new place. Pasta.
Remind me again why you decided to do this whole sorority thing.
Well, I'm more into the service side of sorority life, but not so much into degrading women.
Sororities are for degrading the women? No! I don't even know what that means. Sororities are for women to bond and empower each other. He degrades women! But this scene's dialogue is actually just padding. The real point is to announce that this freshly made dinner is suddenly too gross to eat, even though it hasn't actually changed. Looks like things are getting pretty supernatural.
Relax. There's one thing we don't have here. It's snakes.
What? I don't have a clue. A twig crawls up and hisses at her foot, startling her, and Alex says, "Don't worry, we don't have snakes," even though Nervous Girl never said the word snake. So she saw a green thing slither up to Nervous Girl's foot and heard it hiss, but tells her it's no big deal. Oh, and by the way, this is your abandoned house in the middle of nowhere. Yes, you might have fucking snakes.
Hey, Alex. Jim here wants to apologize for being an asshole.
Thinking about your ex-boyfriend?
So you can see he's repentant.
Was her ex-boyfriend a stick? Why was there a stick? Why did it fucking move? Why did he break it? What does it fucking mean?
So, I was willing to accept all of this, but I don't get any cell service, and that's not gonna fly.
For fuck's sake, guys, the cell phone cliche.
You know, I was getting internet outside, but I'm not getting anything in here.
You literally just set up the internet.
I'm gonna get going. I just lost a dick measuring contest to your new master.
Oh, he's gonna run away because a woman made him feel insecure? Well, we didn't actually see a confrontation like that happen, but you know what? Fine, whatever gets him out of the fucking show! Of course, he's what this guy thinks a frat boy is, so first this character's going to defecate in their bathroom to teach that mean old girl a real lesson.
What the fuck? Somebody puked on the damn floor! The door won't open! Come on, guys! I'm not cleaning this shit up!
So he attempts to clean up the puke, but a naked woman appears in the shower, throwing up even more.
What the fuck? How are you here?
I'm trying to clean myself.
You're dead!
Yeah, bip. He said, "How are you here?" not "What are you doing?" "I'm trying to clean myself" does not answer his question. If she wishes to clean, why she is rubbing regurgitation on her belly? I'm sure it was the only way they could shove a naked girl into the scene.
You killed me, Jim!
You choked on your own vomit! I didn't do shit!
You flipped me the roofie!
Yeah, but I didn't tell you to drink all that fucking vodka!
So he roofied a girl and she choked in her sleep. Kinda seems like you could have had this confrontation without talking a girl into a full frontal shower scene, but what do I know? I'm not a desperate pervert. Then she uses her ghost powers to make him throw up to death, and it's super gross and I'm not gonna watch it again. Though on the funny side, none of them seem to give a shit about Jim being unresponsive in a locked bathroom.
You don't seem like half the shitburger Jim is. Why are you friends?
Well, we were freshmen, wandering, stumbling around College Avenue, going to every bar possible on the...
You did the Trail of Tears.
We did the Trail of Tears.
You named an underage bar crawl the Trail of Tears. You actual piece of shit. After an angry villager passes by, they go to see what's up. But like anyone watching this thing for this long, they find nothing.
Was that there before?
I've seen one of those since my grandpa's farm back in the day. Who would need one of those out here?
Yeah. In what bizarro universe would someone have a pitchfork at a country house?
I read something about a couple getting attacked with a pitchfork.
Do you mean that couple that got murdered?
Well, were they murdered with a pitchfork? What they need? Rape on it?
Well, if we can't order a pizza, there must be something we can cook up real quick here.
You are still on dinner? 1. You are clearly not allowed to cook. 2. What do you mean there must be? You just moved in today. You know exactly what food is there. 3. You can order a fucking pizza. Get in the car you drove there and go to fucking town.
God, what is wrong with that?
Should be nothing. We bought it at the store just yesterday.
Oh, everything tastes really bad.
Get it? Even though there's nothing actually wrong with the food, probably because maggots were too expensive for this shoot, all the food in the house inexplicably tastes terrible.
The good news is Jim passed out, and the bad news is he did it in the bathroom. So we're gonna need a light bulb and a roll of TP for the downstairs toilet.
I got it.
Guys, I think something really weird is going on.
You mean besides keeping toilet paper in a kitchen cupboard? Yeah, they have a bathroom in an Evil Dead cellar. You buying that? No. Good. Because there isn't. But you know what is down there? Another stick! Caramba!
So Melissa's boyfriend just did something to all our food, got drunk, and then passed out in her bathroom. Well, that's a dick move that just got supersized.
What an embarrassing line! And a conclusion based on zero evidence to boot. So after they bicker, Horny Girl goes to her room to masturbate. It is awkward to sit through. Oh, and apparently she was twirling one out with a rosary in her hand. What?
I'm not bad, Grandma.
You've been a bad girl again, Sharon.
No, Grandma.
Why, it sounds like her grandmother is wanting to seduce her. Because the director doesn't direct.
I don't want to cut my switch.
Don't talk back to me, girl.
I won't do it.
No. You'll cut your own switch for that, little missy.
The inconsistent lighting, the backward order of the lines, the improper inflection, the fact that her grandmother sounds like she's in her 20s. Literally everything is so wrong, I'd almost forgotten that you're trying to make us scared of a stick.
Cut it.
So the house ghost can read your mind to learn your greatest trauma and replicate your grandmother's voice, but not her image? Or did your grandmother often walk around fully naked with a 20-year-old body and no face? Because if that's the case, she nailed it. Also, you're cowering on the stairs. The door is still fucking open. Just tell your totally believable grandma that you're going to get the switch, then shut the fucking door.
What is switch?
Oh, it's a stick you break off a tree and beat your kids with.
A stick? That stick?
Don't talk back to me, girl.
But house ghost brought that stick. Why she tells girls to go get stick that the ghost already brought?
So yeah, somehow go cut your switch translated into slit your wrist with a knife you don't have.
Get towels!
Oh. Hey, Jim! Jim! Open the fucking door, buddy, come on!
Dumbass. We keep the bathroom supplies in the kitchen. Finding Jim motionless on the bathroom floor, he assumes him dead without even touching him because that's how important their friendship was.
Hurry! I've helped her before in the past, but this time it's pretty bad.
So, take her to the doctors?
She's done this before?
Yes, she's fucking done this before. Get an ambulance!
Okay.
Great idea! Also, your phone and internet don't work, her legs are not injured, and you have a fucking car, so your plan is fucking brain dead and shut your fucking mouth!
Also, take her to the doctors.
Help me carry her upstairs.
She has a cut on her arm.
What are you doing?
The door won't open.
What do you mean the door won't open? Turn the fucking handle.
You don't think I know how to open a fucking door?
I'll get this.
Give me a second.
The door opens in. You phenomenal cock. And while Weenie Boy fumbles with the door doing nothing, Horny Girl punches the window, fails to break it, and instantly gives up.
There's gotta be other windows we can try. The bedrooms. The bathroom.
Pumpkin, there are more windows in the room you are in. Whew, man, power outages are hard.
You've gotta be kidding me.
I bought an abandoned house in serious disrepair and didn't ask any questions, and now there's an electrical issue? What are the odds?
Okay, check around, see if there's any other windows or doors. Check around, see if there's any other windows or doors.
He won't let us go. They'll never let us go.
Who she is talking to?
No clue. There hasn't even been a vision of a masculine entity so far. Probably because Hendrik couldn't find one with tits to flash. She's just suddenly become a trope with an extra sense about the haunting.
But why?
You may have noticed that things in this story tend to happen either without reason or against reason.
Jess.
So Horny Girl tries to leave via the kitchen and a pot starts to boil on the stove. Up to now, the ghostly encounters have only been fleeting apparitions, but this time, it's a full-on world-altering vision.
Mommy?
You know what I have to do?
Strip the actress so you can get off on filming a scared naked woman screaming for her mommy.
Mommy, no. I didn't mean to.
Oh, right, that's what Henrik needs to do. All Mommy does is boil a rosary in the pot and cry at the camera. They do show the burn on Horny Girl's palm in this dream state, like they're indicating her crazy Christian mother burned the rosary into her hand as a child. But look at that burn, and look at any other palm shot before the masturbation scene. That kind of scarring does not just fade away, so for the 100th time, I'm calling bullshit. Weenie Boy goes upstairs to look for a way out, and once again finds the dreaded necktie.
No, stop! Get that the fuck out of here, now!
You're already fucked, bro.
Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Nowhere to escape either.
Okay, now, you know how in, like, The Shining, there were a bunch of rooms with weird random shit in them? What if we did that, but instead of interesting things, we just have, like, knockoff Edgar suit and roadkill and culture. And instead of doing anything, they just sit there spouting meaningless cliches and clicking around like some kind of rejected Silent Hill enemy. And the best part is, we put a TV center frame, but it's only playing static. You know, to illustrate how the whole thing is just a bunch of fucking noise.
What it means?
I wish they'd fucking tell us. Ah, we've entered a plutonium room.
It's been a long time, sweet cheeks. You know you've been wanting it.
Thing, that was a one-time hookup and you know it. Besides, you look terrible.
Get the fuck away from me, dude.
You think you can just walk around looking the way you do? I'll get away.
And in a scene that's supposed to be about a guy reliving an incident where an authority figure raped him as a child, I just keep focusing on the fact that after Weenie's wrists are bound, we get 3 more shots where the zombie hand is still holding the tie.
I can't do shit, Alex. It doesn't make any sense. There's gotta be a way out.
You could try opening a door correctly, but that's stupid, so instead they go find Weenie on the floor.
How could he do this? Why would he do this to himself?
Well, I can think of a few guys who should probably fuck themselves.
Oh,
like you can take any of this shit seriously. Just look what happens when Nerd Girl gets her paranormal activity.
Champion? Champion, is that you?
She is talking to the floor.
Jess, I see.
What happened to him?
Who knows what happened? I think I heard Catherine calling downstairs. Stay here with Dave for just a minute. I'm gonna go tell her what happened.
We don't even know what happened.
Don't lose your shit, Liz.
I won't.
What happened?
No idea, but I'm gonna go tell the others what happened.
But what did happen?
Don't be a dickhead.
Jess.
And on her way to go downstairs to talk to Nerd Girl, Alex finds her way into the yard.
What?
It's the movie's big attempt to pretend it's visionary. It takes her a full fucking minute to approach this mirror. And to reward your patience, they gift you with a super original ghost in the mirror, but nobody's there cliche. Then she starts screaming while the mirror bleeds and is suddenly back in the house.
Hey, guys?
Said that while clearly seeing the room is empty. Interesting decision.
Did you guys get out? Did you guys get out?
Well, if they did...
Don't leave me alone in here! Don't leave me alone! Don't leave me alone!
she gets to spend the rest of this scene with the pillowcase girl from her nightmare scene.
I didn't want it to happen to me! 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 I didn't want it to happen to me!
Oh look, the ghost is a ghost, and just for laughs, puts its pillowcase on Alex's head.
Alex!
Just off screen, waiting for her cue.
Other than the doors and the windows, have you seen anything that's really fucked up?
You mean like those scarred up bitches that look like Victoria's Secret models from hell?
You've seen them too!
Being naked doesn't make you a Victoria's Secret model. Would it kill you to know what you're talking about one time?
When I was a teenager, I was like everyone else, you know. I got myself off sometimes.
What?
One time I caught my dad watching through a crack in the door. Only I didn't stop him. And I didn't stop him the next time either. Finally, when my mom found out, she couldn't face my dad. So she tried to break me of the habit.
You know what I have to do?
So, instead of just a super religious mother oppressing her daughter Stephen King style for the simple act of masturbating, we're given Daddy Liked to Watch Me, and I like that Daddy watched. Not only has this delightful tale ground the pacing to a halt, you are saying she should have a lifelong scar on her hand, but doesn't. Fucking brilliant.
Hey, where she left the Windy Boy?
Yeah. Why are you just sitting there? You're supposed to be taking care of Weenie Boy and checking on Nerd Girl.
When I was in high school.
Oh, fuck off!
Why this is suddenly tragic backstory time?
I went to this party. It was next door to this girl that I knew growing up. She was disabled, and so eventually she got left behind. And these guys, they came over. And they crept through her window.
And they put a pillowcase over her head and carried her off. I didn't know what might be next, or who might be next.
Hang on, how many guys broke into the neighbor's house?
If the disabled girl was alone, there was no one else to pillowcase. Unless...
Wait, did you break into the neighbor's house too?
Maybe you should start from the beginnings.
No, fuck that. Look, the point we're making here is this is supposed to be Alex's big dramatic monologue where she shares a dark, painful secret about witnessing a gang rape and doing nothing about it. But it's written and performed so fucking poorly, it comes off mostly as boring and confusing. I mean, really? You knew someone was being sexually assaulted and you didn't think to call the fucking cops?
These women are something in this house, or this house itself. It's playing on our fears. Things we're ashamed of.
Oh, is that the premise? I get it now! Anyway, after eating more time than a Langolier, they run downstairs to check on Nerd Girl and Dying Girl.
Catherine!
It's okay. It's my dog, Champy.
Kay, there's no dog.
Yeah, funny that. We got to see at least part of everyone else's supernatural delusions, most of which required some sort of unrequired nudity. But you're telling me you couldn't manage A dog?
Something in this house is playing with our minds somehow, showing us these visions of bad shit that happened to us.
Sometimes I forgot to feed and water him, but he always forgave me. He still lives with my mom and dad.
Does Nerd Girl know she's seeing a fake dog right now?
So is this what you're most ashamed of?
When I was a teenager,
Not another backstory!
I let a neighbor take naked pictures of me. But it was for an art portfolio. I'm sure it was for an art portfolio, don't you think?
Hey, there we go. You know, I was actually surprised that her story wasn't, I used to fuck the dog. Thought maybe you were losing your touch, but then bam! One more shameful sexual perversion to add to the list. And instantly, her neighbor pops in taking snapshots, and this time they all experience the traumatic reenactment, which is never how it worked before, so that's extra cool.
You guys okay?
Are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I was only ghost raped, but it looked like someone was taking your picture.
Jeez, also, where the hell have I been?
Something is playing with our minds. The house, these women. We've all had to face things we didn't want to face.
Why are you talking in circles?
The leader of my youth group. He molested me when I was a kid.
No, sir. Being bound and bent over a chair is not molested. But after being raped by his youth minister, his story gets even better.
The next year, my parents invited him to Thanksgiving, and he was wearing the exact same tie. And I couldn't stop myself. I picked up a knife and put it in him. So then I had to spend 8 months in state hospital. I thought I was crazy. I never told anybody. Not until just now.
Wrong! You definitely told the doctors at the loony bin what happened, because otherwise they would not have been able to treat you for inexplicably gutting a family friend. Also, this means you got revenge on the guy who assaulted you, so why would the ghosts use that to attack you? So far, they've only been using shameful mistakes with no closure. Assuming that telling each other their greatest shame is what the house ghost wanted, without a reason why it would want that, Weenie Boy tries to leave and gets forked.
Go get towels or something! Hurry! They're in the room with Sherry. Oh God, Sherry! Help me get him in there!
1. Way to totally forget about the girl that's already bleeding to death. 2. Quick! Jostle the guy with the perforated torso. We want to get blood in all those organs. And now, at long last, we finally begin limping into what passes for a climax in this meandering borefest.
We won't give her back. Give who back, Sherry?
Me. I'm pregnant. They called me a whore. I ran away from home. It's the only place I could think to go.
Some chick got knocked up and wouldn't say who the father was, so her family disowned her and she ran away to live in a brothel.
We won't give her back to those men.
So, they trapped you here.
Yes.
They starved you out.
Yes.
It's not the women who are keeping us in here. It's the men.
Okay. So the pregnant chick's father and brothers, who shamed her out of the family in the first place, go to the brothel and surround it with torches and pitchforks. They don't go inside to get her, They just stand outside the building menacingly until everyone inside starves and freezes to death. Which, makes perfect sense, because if it's cold enough to freeze to death inside, you certainly wouldn't freeze to death outside first. And by the way, Alex keeps talking about these multiple women ghosts that everyone's allegedly seeing throughout the house. But guess what? We only ever get fleeting glances of one, and the only time anyone in the NAM acknowledges seeing her is when she's killing the opening kill people in the fucking opening. So no, you can't blame everything on the men ghosts outside. And while they've all resigned to death from the forces outside that aren't going to break in and attack them, the door opens and we fade to black. So, is that to indicate that the outside man ghosts did come inside to kill them?
And they were found later, frozen and starved. And they have haunted the sorority house ever since.
What?
Now, who is ready to cross into a haunted world? It's $10 and you can pay Tiffany right over there.
So now the haunted house is a haunted house attraction? And people just show up in silent clusters, I guess via teleportation, to check it out?
It is too cold for these costumes, Alex.
All for a good cause, Sherry.
Well, hopefully we can take even more money to the shelter this year.
What? Even?
It doesn't seem as weird to be doing this year. I know we don't talk about that anymore.
No, it's okay. Nobody's felt anything since that night. We stood together and chased off whatever it was. We were strong.
And you saved your friends.
For the last time, humans don't talk like that.
Hey guys, so the first group is starting to file through. We need to get in our places.
Man, do I love carrying around this item that was once used in my attempted murder. Sure is a thing my character would do, since I don't have a history of centering severe trauma on tools used to cause me egregious harm. And then, oh no, there's still a ghost for reals, but nobody cares because it's finally fucking over. Haunted House on Sorority Row is soul-crushing to sit through. This is not the fun kind of bad with over-the-top performances or ridiculous visuals. This is punishing in every way. For example, production value. There are moments when the audio drops out completely, they for some reason couldn't manage camera flashes, and of course, the entire story takes place inside this quasi-abandoned house in which every blank room looks exactly the same, and they obviously weren't allowed to interact with anything but the couch. They definitely brought their own bed sheets. It looks and sounds like a home movie, and the entire budget clearly went into paying for unnecessary nudity, which added fucking nothing. Editing. There's a bunch of continuity blotches riddled throughout. Some of the establishing shots last for 10 silent fucking seconds, and holy crap are the conversations awful. Lifeless, meandering, repetitive bullshit. Was there really not enough footage to splice together a few scenes with pacing in them? Cinematography. There is only one scene where the camera is not perfectly static, and it is the most interesting one visually, but that's only because the rest of the camera work is motionless and basic as hell.
Unless there are women.
Well, that's true. They do move the camera when they're ogling women. And speaking of that, direction! These two can't get their faces to match the tone of their words. This guy whines like a toddler the first time he sees a necktie, but after that, he's got the personality of a fence post, and this chick is all over the place. In any given scene, she's throwing out 17 different emotions in one ridiculous flurry of line reads, and knockoff Patch Adams doesn't once step in and say, no, but try acting like a human. By the way, acting!
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm gonna get going. I just lost a dick measuring contest to your new master.
First meal in the new place. Pasta.
He did what?
I found him that way, and he was just...
That asshole! He fucking did what?
I found him.
Yeah, they can't do that. And the biggest failure of all, the writing. Some of you have never heard the phrase, show, don't tell. And it shows. Oddly enough. In a low-budget production, yes, it can be difficult to afford good effects, and stories can become heavily dependent on getting to know your characters. But that doesn't mean that as you build closer to your climax, you jam the fucking brakes and have characters ooze out their backstory like a Trenton and maple syrup. Things are supposed to get more interesting as a ghost story unfolds, and you've got people simply reading their character bios with the fiery passion of a baked fucking sloth. As an aside, Stoner Sloth is a vastly superior production in every regard, but I digress. There's a ghost in the house that was tortured and died because of her family's shame, and now she tortures and kills people by using their greatest shame against them. But she was a victim, so why is she attacking the people who are seeking safety in the same place where she sought safety? And if the men outside didn't freeze to death and nobody ever says they did, then why are they haunting the property? And why are they the spirits in control who can decide who comes and goes? And why the fuck did they decide our protagonist could leave after they resigned to die in solidarity with the ghost of the woman they initially showed up to murder in the first place? And when they are shown to have survived, not only do we see they're still living in the house that nearly murdered them, the NAM itself gives us an exposition dump to tell us the ending we weren't allowed to see. And even then, with the painfully slow monotone exchanges and the repetitive as all hell dialogue, this thing isn't even really about ghosts or revenge or even sorority girls. It's about... sex, tits, ass, tits, tits, pussy, tits. Pussy, tits, sex, ass, pussy, tits, sex. Tits, tits, sex, tits, 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 pussy. Pussy, ass, tits, pussy, tits, tits, tits. Tits, 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 dick.
Classy.
Mm-hmm. And why did House Ghost kill these two? Why is Sorority Row one abandoned house in the middle of nowhere? Oh, and here's a question. Tad! I cannot fucking believe you!